and gentlemen, welcome back to another arc of Osiris cast, Osiris League, the third cast of the day. Rest in peace, our coins. Oh, the hit we took indeed. 5,561 coins out the window. But it is what it is. Rose played very well. OV proving that they are the champions of Season 1. They're still here to reclaim that title for Season 2. Man, this is going to be an interesting one. SNO and C9 and CN8N. Honestly, if this was a really interesting one. The odds here are really crazy. The overdogs, with the exception of here, really won everything so far. But there are a few more matches to go, and we are going to keep our eyes on 2 matches, potentially 3. So we're going to keep our eyes on the realm of Horus a bit, but we might actually have to also keep our eyes on Anubis because NBA 1 and NBA 2 are going ham, and I don't think that's going to be a good match. I think that either team is not going to play the best for the other one to win. I'm not calling anyone a cheater, or I'm not calling anyone anything like that. It's just strategy, and that's very much okay as far as I'm concerned. Nobody says here that you have to play always to the best of your abilities. If you choose not to, it is what it is. I don't think that those matches are going to be that crazy. You lost all your coins. See, you didn't lose all your coins. You'll lose half. The other half will come back to you. So every time you lose a bet, you only lose half of the coins that you bet. So you get back half. And now it's time to try yet again. Am I not playing for JWM2 now? No, I'm not. I'm not going to be playing on this match. I'm not going to be playing on this match for JWM2. I'll be casting. We'll be casting. For JWM2, this match might be important, might not. I don't know what the plan is. I just knew that we are in the playoffs, and therefore I were asked to just stay out and cast. NB1A has already 2 wins. They'll purposely lose to NB2A so they can go through to the next round. Maybe. That could be a thing. What's your thoughts on OV going back-to-back champions? They could be. They really could be. They're not... Unlike Ghost Rider that came here earlier with a lot of hate, I don't have anything bad against OV. I think OV can very, 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 very easily take a second title. They are... not making mistakes. They know their fundamentals, and their strategy is really sound. Ooh, that popped on the screen. It shouldn't have yet. Let me get rid of that real quick. I think that OV can definitely make it to the playoff, to the finals. They can definitely also win it, potentially. I don't know. We'll have to see. JWM are definitely more prepared than they were last time for OV. That's for sure. What's up, The Mood? How you doing? Welcome, everybody, to another cast. We have, I believe, a bunch of other casters casting too. Chiskel, I believe, stayed live ever since earlier. That's a lot of casting. I see Dragothian is live as well. Nice. I don't see Ronnie nearby. Hopefully he's doing okay. He usually tends to cast these matches as well. I hope all's good with him. No reason for him not to show up in the sense of like something bad happen. Chat, we're going to have an interesting pair of matches. We're going to keep an eye on pretty much the same group. So here's what you need to know about this group. If, in this case, right, let's go take a quick peek at the schedule. We're keeping our eye on the one group because that one group could be a very, very interesting situation. And here's the problem with it, right? So SOD have 0 wins. SOD are really, really on the brink of extinction in Arc of Osiris League. The problem for... the good news for SOD, better said, is that they're going up against someone with 1 win. So if SOD win this, they do have a shot to make it to the playoffs. Now, if SOD win and 89PX win, there could be a potential in which SOD make it to the playoffs. Very, very interesting scenario. So if we take a quick peek, NB won by 6,000 points in here, and lost by 2,000 points in here. So they're up by about 4,000 points overall. SOD lost by 1,000 points, and then by less than 2,000, by about 2,000 points. So theoretically, a win for SOD and a win for 89PX could mean that SOD squeak in and NB2 and Tx46 get knocked out. If Tx46 win and NB2 win, then there's still a potential for one of these teams not to make it to the playoffs, as Tx46 are down 6,000 points in here and then up 2, so they're down about 4,000 points. This could be really, really, really interesting. A lot of other scenarios can really happen. What happens if NB2 win and Tx46 win? Is there a situation where 89PX don't find themselves in the playoffs? 89PX won both their matches, but by a very small margin. All these teams have been very close to each other every single match. The bottom line is, this group is not closed by any means of the imagination. It can actually really, really change drastically. There are possibilities for all teams to make it to the playoffs, essentially. So let's go into the matches that we're going to keep an eye on. We're going to start off with Tx46 against 89PX, and I'll put on the other monitor for us to keep an eye on the other match, NB2 against SOD, and we'll swap back and forth. We'll swap back and forth and see how it goes. So we got to get rid of that, and we got to get rid of that, and we are on the battlefield. We're on the Osiris battlefield. We're going to keep our eye on this match right here. 89PX. What the? Okay. Scouts. Scouts is okay. Scouts is okay. Scouts all over the place. People are scouting. Wow. All right. 89PX going up against the folks of Tx46. This is for all the marbles for a playoffs place. This is where everybody needs to show up and do their 100%, or else there's a slight possibility for every single team to get knocked out of the playoffs. Our friend and member of the channel, Zach, on the map in here, playing for 89PX. I believe we will find Seb somewhere in here as well. Another member of the channel there. He is right there. Woo-wee! Seb's my man with a power up, and he has this, so you know he has that skin available too. These guys push the power. I see Cobra has the name tag as well, meaning the power is there and the skin is too. Shout out to my man Sebs and Sack. Good luck to you guys in the match. On the opposition, we have L Character T, the number 1 or 2 biggest player in the game based on whichever day you look at it. Sometimes it's Baba, sometimes it's him. These guys have been going back and forth for the top place, and around here we have a few other folks that we know. Now let's see who else in the field we can shout out real quick. Ooh. Well, maybe I don't know anyone else in here. Well, I probably do and don't remember names. With 3 seconds remaining, the gates of hell are coming down and the marches are going to start going as everybody starts sending marches out. Tx46 Character T's march is the first one out of the gates, along with Jihua, who is going towards, I'm assuming, an obelisk. 5 rallies launched early on. Surprising. First time we see that out of these teams. 89PX maintaining the tradition of 4 rallies real quick, while it looks like Tx46 are less inclined on sending their rallies. Let's do a little bit of volume up so you guys get to enjoy the sound effects of the game while we are playing. No, I'm not playing OL this time around. I'm not playing today OL. We'll be casting instead. The folks of JWM2 are doing their thing, and I wanted to cast. We have some amazing matches for us to take a look at. If you're new to Ark of Osiris, a very quick brief explanation on what Ark of Osiris is. Ark of Osiris is a game mode that is played on a custom map. It's a 1-hour match in which both teams are trying to accumulate as many points as possible. They are fighting on a map that is a mirrored map, meaning a map that is 2 sides that are the same, one side being a blue side and the other side being red. Both sides have the same buildings available, and these buildings are the way you gain points. By occupying a building for 3 minutes, you lock it in favor of your team, and when that happens, each individual type of building will give you a different amount of points per minute, and the name of the game is who has the most points at the end of 1 hour. Another way for you to gain points is the Ark of Osiris itself, which comes up in 10 minutes on the Temple of Osiris, as well as gathering caravan provisions on the field. This will also give you points. This game is all about strategy, being able to gain as many points as possible per minute, as well as stop your opposition from gaining as many points per minute as possible. The first stage only allows you to get to the first few buildings, which are the obelisks and the outposts. These are the initial buildings that are available for occupation until the 52nd minute. In the 52nd minute, the Desert Altar, Sky Altar, Shrine of Life, and Shrine of War all open up, and from there, mayhem ensues. The most important buildings for you guys to keep an eye on are two different buildings. The Desert and Sky Altars are one of them. They are the big point makers. They give 150 points per minute, and they, as 4 buildings, have more than half of the points on the map. The other very important building to keep your eye on is the Shrine of War, as it gives a team, whichever teams hold onto it, 5% attack and defense. Usually these are the most guarded buildings in the match, as either team picking up the other team's Shrine of War means that one team will have 10% buffs while the other one will have 0, as you can see right there. For now, rallies are marching, and it looks like this cavalry march is flying towards this obelisk. It might stop. Is it going to break towards an offensive attack onto the arc, to the Desert Altar, or are they actually going to go all the way into the obelisk? They are still marching forward. Usually what we see is rallies like this breaking near a building that they intend to either occupy or defend, but by the looks of it, 89px are going straight in. They cancel the rally indeed right next to the Desert Altar that is supposed to be the blue team's Desert Altar. Remind you, the map, ladies and gentlemen, is indeed mirrored. So when I say a building is supposed to be blue or red, it means that this building, for example, is supposed to be blue, as it's on the blue side of the map. Right now, 89px are moving for an aggressive move against Tx46, who are marching their way. A minute remaining till this Desert Altar opens up. In the meantime, every single building is occupied successfully, and the first important building to keep your eyes on is the obelisk. The reason an obelisk is very, very important is because once the obelisk is occupied, you can then teleport your city to this area right here, which, as you can see, is much further forward out on the field than the initial zone. That's how you essentially gain more time from marching back and forth. If my team captures, you'll be up to 10%. You won't be up to 20. You'll be up to 10% of each buff. So 10% attack and 10% defense. 5% of each. Total 20%, yes. It looks like 89px are going to let one rally make its way towards the obelisk, but that rally is going to be late. The cities have already ported in. This rally is going to try to take this obelisk potentially away from Tx46, but this kind of a play is usually made to stop people from teleporting out early on. Right now, the folks who are supposed to teleport early on this side have teleported, so taking this obelisk might not be the most how would you call it, productive of situations, as the building itself is not worth as many points per minute. But what is productive for 89px is picking up a blue Desert Altar. This is great news, and this is the beginning of that taking points away from the opposition. Right now, Tx46 are almost 20 seconds out of their own building. This is very bad news for them because they really want to get as many points per minute as possible. And right now, by being out of their building for 30 seconds, they've lost essentially 75 points total on the match. They are a little bit behind by a few points, but that small of a situation where 89px holding onto a building for 40 seconds now, this can be really problematic for Tx46. Tx46 also really don't want to let the red team take first occupation on this building. Remind you, the team that occupies the building for the first time gets an extra points bonus, and in the terms of the altars, that is 750 points. Right now, it looks like 89px are really advancing forward against Tx46, and Tx46 must stabilize in order to be able to successfully sustain an arc of Osiris match, which will last for another 50 long minutes. Chat, if you're enjoying the content, make sure you're dropping a like on the stream and subscribing to the channel. A bunch of you folks subscribed last stream. I appreciate you very much. Welcome to the channel. Diffigiano, welcome. How's it going? So far, it looks like 89px are holding on to this building. If they manage to take first occupation away from the folks in blue, this is going to be real trouble. The problem is the blue team is right now not focused enough on the building. They're focused on open field fights all over the place, but the building is not being swarmed entirely. So many marches fighting open field marches and standing on the open field rather than fighting for the building. And within a minute This building is going to go in favor of 89PX, and from there, problems are going to start. On the other match that we're keeping our eye on, the folks in SOD pick up one side of the map. However, the homies of NB2 taking out the next side, a different type of spread on the map, even set of buildings, but still an interesting situation happening right now in the NB2 versus SOD match, going back into 89PX versus Tx46. Tx46 are 24 seconds away from losing this building, and the building is fully healed. It looks like 89PX in red are about to steal a first occupation on a desert altar, 750 points away from Tx46, and Tx46 starting on the wrong foot right here. And for the folks of SOD, their hope and dream is for 89PX to win. If that happens, they still stand a chance if they manage to defeat NB2. But for now, it looks like 89PX are really in the lead. We kind of dropped the one match, but don't worry, we have the next one available right here. We'll go take a look at it as we reload into the other match. It looks like the map is stabilizing for both teams. Each of them picking up 2 altars like they should, and everything else is pretty much the same. NB2 going up against the Sky Altar of SOD, who are counter-rallying. Very big mistake to counter-rally in Ark of Osiris. We've mentioned plenty of times why this is a big problem. People are wasting commanders and wasting potential buffs out of hitting on the open field. That looks well defended indeed. It looks very well defended. It looks like so far so good for both teams. They're holding onto their buildings correctly, but the red team is getting attacked quite severely by NB2. The defense is very strong by SOD. They know they must win this to progress, and they're not going to let this go easy. They're not going to let this go easy at all. 89PX versus Tx46. We are back in action on the map as the folks of Tx46 are losing control of the map. Ladies and gentlemen, we walked out for a moment, came back, and everything turned red. Is this the end of Tx46? Are we going to keep an eye on NB2 more? I have a feeling we're going to keep an eye on that other match a little bit more, as the folks of NB2 and SOD are really going ham. They have a much closer matchup, and if Tx46 don't manage to come back into this within the next couple of minutes, we might have to bail on this match and go take a look at the other match. Right now, red buildings are blinking. Shrine of War being contested. Both Shrines of War is being fought for, but such a huge open field presence here by 89PX. They know this building is crucial for them to be able to take the Ark of Osiris, which comes out in 2 minutes. The middle is fairly decently occupied by blue, but red are coming in from all over the place. Backstabs, front stabs, left and right. Red team taking over this map completely, and I have a feeling we're gonna have to make a quick change in the title as well as in the thumbnail, because this match is looking very, very grim for the folks of Tx46. Hope hasn't subsided yet. They take their desert altar back. A fantastic beginning, but 2,500 points behind, and a whole red map is not looking good for Tx46 early on. Plenty of maps still to go, plenty of the match still left, and there's tons more to get through. 89PX focused on pushing forward and going to the front. It looks like their Attila Takeda rally with a bunch of debuffs along the way are not able to break this Charles Martel defense. And man, oh man, the folks of Tx46 are starting to run into the wall that is 89PX. And now with more open field presence coming in the form of Max to help this building will probably retain its position. The Sky Altar also being protected very well. The aggressors against it running back home. A little bit of marches, leaving the building and refreshing. This is the time to refresh your defense and ensure you are well defended. By the looks of it, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go swap matches very, very soon. Tx46 are not going to let this go down without a fight, but there might be a chance. And we're gonna have to try to sneak this in. Hello, Photoshop? Why are you open here? We're gonna try to sneak in. Oops, sorry. Sneak in a change real quick onto the cast, because we're not gonna be sitting here and watching the folks of Tx46 getting slaughtered. If it comes to it, we'll have to switch it up. we will have to switch it up. So far, Tx46 swarming the Shrine of Life, but look at how much damage the Shrine of Life is doing. It is getting taken out, but there is massive field presence by Tx46 in here, and they're not able to just take the Shrine out. And Veteran of the Veritas of Dragon is just sending here now, switching it up, getting into the building even further, making the life of Tx46 hell. They are taking a beating. Tons of marches trying to hit this building out of its place, but it just looks impossible as 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 marches surround this building and are finally trying to bring it down, but they'll be very weak by the time this building goes down. And Sak can very, very easily, if not refill this building very quick, he can probably try to take it out. With this many troops remaining to these folks, this building might not be as secure. Tx46 picking up their map back. They are not leaving this match without a fight, although they are behind a substantial amount of points. And now they are behind on the Ark of Osiris. The swarms are coming in as madness is happening in the Ark of Osiris. Things are looking very, very interesting in the center. The map went back to be fairly even consistently, but as of right now, the early lead goes to the folks of 89PX in blue and in red, and they are holding on not only to a very, very strong lead, but also to the Ark of Osiris. That is right, they're holding on to the Ark of Osiris, a crucial piece in their success to potentially take this match and make their way to the playoffs guaranteed. If 89PX win this match, they are guaranteed in the playoffs, and they take the hopes away from Tx46 to make it in potentially. There's still a small way for them to make it in, but it's really, really gonna be a tough one for them. As we do that, we're going to keep our eyes really quickly on the other match. I have a feeling that other match is going to be much closer. So give me a few moments as we're going to switch things up on the stream a little bit as we cast live this Ark of Osiris match. We do want to give you the best content available out there. And for that, sometimes it requires alternation and it requires doing things on the fly. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Thankfully, I have a good setup situated for us to really quickly make a change. I did not think of creating another thumbnail because I really didn't think we'd get this far. But hey, we're going to do the best to make this switch right now in a few moments, unless Tx46 decide they don't want us to leave. So far, it looks like they don't want us to leave. They are taking control of the Ark of Osiris. They heard us saying that we're about to leave, and they're not about that life. That middle presence is looking great by them, and they are moving the Ark of Osiris. That is good news because they are fighting for survival in Osiris League, and that is the #1 priority for them right now. Surviving another day in Osiris League Season 2. If they don't win this, this could be a goodbye for them. With that being said, yes, go. Come on. Oh, we're gonna crash this thing, really? Good. Shoot. Alright, we good. We good, chat. We're gonna stay with this match for a little bit longer, hoping and praying that Tx46 decide to pick it up and start winning this match potentially, or at least making it a fairly even match. While we talk about that, the folks of NB2 are having a little bit of a tough time against SOD. They did pick up the first Ark of Osiris, and the map is more blue than it is red right now. The other match is looking fairly the same for NB2, who are really looking to solidify their victory and take their place in the playoffs. Poor Nima, not right now. After the cast, we can do that, but not right now for sure. Photoshop, is that Photoshop tutorial? Oh, hell no. That's a little bit of a misplaced screen on the screen. So with all this being said, blue team picking up their buildings back, but just as I say that, Sky Altar going in favor of red, the blue Sky Altar being destroyed. Although it looks like the swarm nearby can potentially take the building back, it's 3 minutes without points in favor of in favor of 89PX. For 89PX, the team in red, they're trying to delay as many points as possible away from the folks in blue. By taking this building, now they have ensured that the next time the folks in Tx46 get points out of the Sky Altar is in 3 long minutes. In 3 long minutes, things are going to completely change. While that is going on, the Ark of Osiris is in blue protection. It is being fought for very hard in the center. It is still under the blue team, and they can still take this Ark and ensure that they close the gap substantially between them and the red team. 50 points per minute, and as we say that, it goes down further. What was it? 130 points per minute in favor of the red team means that their gap is growing as they are almost 4,000 points in the lead. But this arc is 3,000 points, and if Tx46 manages to catch it, it means that they'll close that gap down very, very substantially. Tx46 are also acting on the map very, very well. They have a rally, very strong rally, and a Shrine of War presence. This is exactly what Tx46 need to get back into this game. They need to take the Shrine of War, and they need to take it now. If they manage to take it now, they'll be very, very strong towards they'll be very strong towards the middle area. Don't worry, Ghost Rider will still meet for sure. I think that we'll still find ourselves in a match sooner rather than later. And if not, regardless, as long as OV do their thing, you guys will definitely probably meet JWM's main team sooner rather than later. Things are going nuts all over the place. It looks like we have disconnected from the match. In a moment, it'll tell us that we disconnected. When we come back, hopefully for Tx46, they managed to take the Shrine of War away from 89PX. Let's... okay, sure, Gabe. You disconnected. We appreciate that. Game disconnecting is Lilith's like MO at this point. We're going back in there real quick. We'll face JWM if in top 8. Yeah, if we keep winning. That sounds about right. That sounds about right. All right, back into the action we go real quick. Let's take a look if Tx46 were capable of making that play and get this Shrine of War back in their favor. Our Arc of Osiris is happening at the same time. Right now, it's in progress. JWM aren't on the match. If we go take a quick peek at the situation, we don't have a points go. JWM very much in the lead on their match. Tx46 trying to grind their way back, and we're back into the action. They have taken the Shrine of War. That is a great set of news for the folks in blue, and now they're fighting in the center for this arc still. This is the first arc, and it's still going for quite a while. It's been going on for a little bit. The fights in here in the center are just nuts. But on the open field, the building game, the folks of Tx46 now have a huge lead. A skill was triggered on this Sky Altar to protect it a little bit further, but the Desert Altar in red is blinking too. It looks like only a 1 March trying to smack into it. While that is going on, the blue Desert Altar is about to go down. Open field presence by Hung. This is why a counter rally is such a bad idea. Hung has so many troops in here right now that he could send into the building, but because he's in a rally, they cannot go into the building and hold on to it. So they might maybe weaken down this opposition, but by letting this building potentially fall, there is a nice March makes it in last second, and Tx46 still managed to hold. When you have a rally, the problem with a counter rally is that it'll keep hitting no matter what, and if your building goes down, the counter rally was practically pointless. This is why we never recommend to counter rally, but rather swarm, because you can always send a swarm into the building to hold onto the building a little bit longer to allow more marches to get in. That 1 March coming in really saved this building for Tx46, and now it looks like a bunch of buildings are blinking. 89PX in red are not going to let this fall. They want to take this Shrine of War, and they want to take it now. Tx46 have a lot of presence on the field, but they need to get in the building. If they lose this building, it doesn't matter how much open field presence they do have. Swarming an Attila could be a bad idea, but you're looking, it's better than having a counter rally in there that's going to keep hitting the rally until you get destroyed and the building goes down. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, your target is the building. You need to save the building. Cancel the counter rally and go into the building. Don't swarm Attila, go into the building. By counter rallying Attila and letting the building go down, like Character T and the folks of Tx46 are doing right now, they're allowing this building to go down. And March by Character T goes in to save the day, but he's going to need a lot more than 1 March to stop this Attila Takeda right now. They're really going to need to get in this building and hold. The more they hold their buildings, the better off they are. As while that is happening, madness is going in the center. Red and blue going all over the place. Blue buildings blinking everywhere. Tx46 in the lead in the points per minute game by 220 points per minute, and they keep gaining. They're slowly closing the gap. They're slowly closing their victory upon their loss to 89PX, and this match is nowhere near over. Tx46 heard us and said, all right, we're not going to let this go down that easy. The Shrine of War might go down right here, but it held for a very long while. A small mistake by Bard of River to just pull his march out of the city, out of the building. You might as well die with the building than pulling out and not leaving it for the building for another second. And just like that, 89px turn the tables around. 2 Shrines of War go red. Just like that. And within seconds, Tx46 go from being 20% buffs up, 10% attack and 10% defense, down to nothing. And now they're trying to take at least their own building black. Their Wu Zetian by character T is probably going to be the one holding onto this building, trying to suicide her in to get a new march in really quickly. While that goes on, the Sky Altar being contested and the rally failing to take a Sky Altar away from PX89 finally marching away with the Ark of Osiris. The blue team might have dropped the ball and allowed this Ark to move. Ark carrier is down and the Ark once more goes to the ground as things are going back and forth on the match. Ladies and gentlemen, Tx46 and blue are not going to take this without a fight. They're not going to go down without a fight. Ladies and gentlemen, this match is nowhere near over as 3,000 points, 3,800 points are the difference between these two teams, and very interesting scenario happening right now. Oh, the Ark carrier manages to sneak out. Good march speed. Good march speed on this Ark carrier means he is out of here. It looks like a potential, maybe, potentially bugged march. Doesn't look like he has a skill enabled and doesn't look like he should be walking that fast. It takes him, he is marching stupendously fast. I'm wondering if there's a way to trigger that. So that the march speed on your city, on your march, the march speed reduction doesn't get affected. This is a thing people actually do. On the other match, while you guys want to keep an eye on it as well, we have the folks of NB2 really causing damage to SOD. At this point, SOD 6,000 points behind. We definitely have a closer match in Tx46 against 89px. Oh my goodness, that Saladin might catch this Ark carrier. He's trying very hard, but by the looks of it, the Ark carrier seems to not be affected at all by the slowdowns of the Ark of Osiris, and he's just bailing out. Yeah, police state, there is a slight bug where sometimes marches are not affected by the Ark's slowdown. We really don't know how that happens, but it did happen in the last match we watched too, and it looks like Cool's not getting slowed down by anything whatsoever. It looks like there is no way that this is supposed to be a thing. 89px kind of not even being able to catch up with their own Ark carrier tells the story. And ladies and gentlemen, by the looks of it, 89px will take the first Ark of Osiris and increase their lead. But with 31 minutes remaining in the match, everything is still open. And yeah, SOD and NB2, we just looked at it a couple of minutes ago, Benedict. It's more skewed towards NB2 right now, who have about, they're down 70 points per minute, but they're up 6,000 points. So the closer match is what we're watching right here. We're keeping an eye on that match as well in case things turn around. We'll definitely keep an eye on the folks of SOD as they try to potentially take out NB2 and make their way to the playoffs. Red buildings are blinking everywhere. Red buildings are blinking everywhere as Tx46 is going in with another rally onto 89px, and so they are on the Sky Altar with a lot of open field presence, a Zetian on the building, an Edward rally, and a lot of a swarm all over the place. Boy, oh boy, this is really going to be an interesting match. Tx46 looking to take away the Sky Altar. There is open field presence by 89px. They cannot lose their sight on the goal, which is hold onto the building. If they manage to hold onto the building long enough, that's everything. They need to hold on and let the rally hit, let the swarm hit. If they have enough of the protection for this building, the building will hold. With a counter rally by Max Payne, lots of cavalries are tied into hitting this Edward rally, which is doing good amount of damage to the Sky Altar, and the more the Sky Altar goes red, the harder it is. As of right now, more marches are marching into the Sky Altar, and it looks like it is being well defended. The rally is taking a huge beating, and so is the open field presence, and by the looks of things, it seems that the Sky Altar might be able to prevail, but by very, very little. So far, it looks like these guys are trying to hold on their best. 89px are they gonna let the Sky Altar down? They might lose the Sky Altar. It's so close. Can Tx46 get the final hits? The rally is out, but the swarm is still in. If the folks of 89px don't pay attention, the building will go blue. And back to the lead go the folks in blue with a points per minute game. What a crucial take by 89px, by Tx46 to slow 89px yet again. Shrine of War, very well defended. This is not going to be taken away. But what is the situation down on this side? Shrine of Life, big pressure by Tx46 to take the Shrine of Life right now. They have a swarm and a Guan Yu rally doing massive amount of work. There are 2 marches on the open field beating up on Guan Yu, but the life inside the Shrine of War and that Shrine of Life is not going to be enough to be able to hold against the 4 army swarm in here, including Constantine, a Alexander, and a Charles Martel. This Shrine of Life could go down any moment. While that's happening, Desert Altar is blinking. There is open field presence in here by both teams. The building is low. The rally is strong. So far, so good. But in exchange, Tx46's Shrine of War is blinking and it's good. The Obelisk is being contested, but the Obelisk is just a distraction play. 89px in red took the arc and hit it in the back, and that allowed a lot of more presence by both teams on the field and in rallies. Right now, it looks like the folks of Tx46 in blue are not going to let this match go down without a fight. We were sure this was over. We were sure this was out of their hand. As they lost first occupation on one of their buildings, they've lost a couple of other things along the way, but they are doing a great job so far. This Constantine is holding long enough for Ronin Ace to make his way in here. Ronin Ace making it in the building. One of the open field marches went to the building to help it heal even further. That's exactly the kinds of plays we want to see. By holding on the building a little bit longer, it allows Ronin Ace to come in here and refill this building. Red buildings blinking everywhere. Sky Altar about to go down. And the folks of Tx46, every time they lose the point per minute lead, they come back with something else. And now they own 3 altars, only one of them ticking for points. 2 of them are still waiting for occupation. This one being the points maker and the other 2 being the ones waiting for occupation to finalize. In a few moments, this one will finish it up. Unless the folks of 89px swarm the life out of it and take it out. By the time all that is happening, Shrine of War is blinking, but nothing's happening here. Hello? Okay. Outposts have been taken away by 89px, and Character T and company in Tx46 in blue really need to start picking these buildings back up. They don't want to give 60 points per minute for free to red, and that's what's happening right here. Their buildings are being taken back. While all this happens, Sky Altar goes back to red. It slows down the points per minute pace and gain, and now it's a matter of gaining points. Tx46 must hold on to their buildings. This is their only point-making altar right now. They cannot allow this altar to go down. They have enough of an open field presence and an alliance skill popped on this building to be able to hold on. If they cannot hold on with an alliance skill and all this, it means that they're not paying attention to their building. They're paying attention to the open field fights. All this happening, while all that's happening, Shrine of Life is still being contested. More open field presence coming in here to help with the Shrine of Life fights, and the Desert Altar is being fought as well. This rally is not going to be too successful. The open field is more occupied fighting on the open field than going for the Desert Altar itself. And while that's going on, the Desert Altar, that's blue, with a skill on it, is being swarmed the life out of it. It is so far so good. It is yellow and very, very good shape. More blue marches making their way. They cannot lose this building. Losing this building would be an absolute waste, both of a of an alliance skill as well as of everything they did so far. They really want to hold on. They're about only 30 points per minute behind and roughly 3,000 points. This is anyone's game, ladies and gentlemen. While that is going on, we'll do a quick checkup on NB2 against SOD, as the map looks a bit favoring SOD now. Points per minute are indeed in favor of SOD. They are trying to march themselves into a comeback. Unfortunately for them, the blue team has the Ark of Osiris and they're holding on to it very, very carefully next to their Desert Altar. So this 5,000 point lead can become 8,000 points at more than that, because that's the second arc. It can become 8,500 points at any moment, which is even tougher for SOD to come back from. But their first priority is indeed to hold on to 3 altars for as long as possible for the points per minute gain. Looking at the Shrine of Life really being contested hard, it might go down very quickly as the folks of blue really swarm the heck out of this building. They don't even care. Some of these folks are fighting in the open field rather than focusing on the building. This gives more time for Sack to make it in here and more marches to make it in here and continuously hold on to the building. Defending and fighting the building is the most important thing. Fighting the open field does not help your cause. Fighting Sack does not help your cause. More marches are going to come in and refill this building, and when they do, the building will remain red forever. You want to focus on the target. The target is the building, not the open field presence. This is something we've been talking about consistently for plenty of matches now, as we have been casting all this Osiris League season, and even a rally making its way in here. A Guan Yu infantry rally finally making its way to the Shrine of Life, but look at how much health it's gained and how much open field presence the red team has. This is about to be a brawl. Blue team really need to focus on the building and leave the open field fights for the open field. Map is fairly even with the exception of one outpost going blue, a little bit of a nuisance guy marching his way in here, taking the outpost of Seth, about to lose it back, and that keeps Tx46 in the lead in the points per minute game. 60 points for them. They are under 3,000 points in terms of the spread, which means this match is very open to either side. By the looks of it, the Desert Altar is holding for dear life. It's still holding on for dear life. The folks of Tx46 have been exhausting 89PX, and they need to keep doing that. The rally is being fairly unsuccessful right here. A counter rally, Attila Takeda in there, but Tx46 and blue cannot slip and let this building go down in favor of 89PX, or else they'll lose a substantial amount of points. Provisions can indeed change the outcome of this match very significantly, as well as another Ark of Osiris, which we're still guaranteed to have at least one more based on the delays right now. With 8 minutes on the timer, there will be 12 full minutes to get that final Ark, and there's probably going to be only one of them. Counter rally, haven't seen them in a while. John Wick, there's too many of them, and I don't get it, but it is what it is. We try our best to convey it, but they watch you play, and then they don't understand how you win, considering they counter rally and you don't. Counter rallies, very bad idea. Let the rally hit the building. Keep refilling the building. No need to fight the rally. Refill the building. That's all you need to do. Fighting the rally makes absolutely no sense. It helps the opposition. You're killing the rally quicker, which means they can launch another rally quicker. But I've been saying it too much, and people just don't like to listen. But that's okay. Everybody have their own strategy, and that's cool. I wonder if JWM2 can be disqualified from Osiris League from throwing a match. Why would they be disqualified from throwing a match? You should disqualify HOF then too, technically, who never showed up to the match. Who never showed up to the match. It was 18 against 30. Tx46, Sky Altar in trouble. They need to hold on to the altar more than fight the actual rally itself. They realize that and stop fighting the rally. They start refilling this building. They have to keep it above yellow. A building in red is really bad news. A building in red means that whoever comes in next is pretty much defending alone. If your team is in, if your building is in red, it means that everyone in there is very, very low in terms of the amount of players, which means that the next guy coming in will have the majority of the building and will be holding on against a full rally. You don't want to let the building go below yellow. You want to keep refilling it to yellow and even green if possible, but don't let it go down to red, because when you're in red, you're in trouble. Now, I understand that in some cases, when you've been holding long enough, you'll stay in red forever. That's completely understandable. The rule of thumb is keep the building at least above the 1/3. 1/3 full is key, and even more than that, I'd say over 50%. But even if you're going below 50%, you don't want to go below 33%, because that's really getting hard. At this point, Ashran can do nothing against Attila Takeda, only suicide his own troops. He's not even doing any sort of damage compared to the damage he's taking. And instead of saving his troops to hold onto the building, he's choosing to fight an Attila Takeda rally. instead of going inside the building. I understand that he might have a march in there. But again, this fella right here, I mean, what are you doing? And you too, Ashron, come on, my man, get your march out, get back in. Are you waiting for the last second to get in and out? Waiting for the last second is such a bad idea. There are more marches coming in, but they need time. Ashron, you need to help your team gain time. But he is not paying attention. The open field fight happened here. But getting in the building, waiting for the last second. Now, Ashron is going up against an Attila Takeda by himself. Can he hold on for long enough? I don't know. Why wait till the last moment? I don't know. This is literally fighting an Attila Takeda by yourself inside a building. There was so much time for Ashron to go in there and allow his teammates to lose a little bit less and share the burden among each other. Now, all you're doing, you're 1v rally. So what's the point? You want to share the burden among alliance mates. And the same thing goes to these guys. These guys are fighting the rally instead of fighting the building. The building's about to go down. You might take it back instantly. But look at these marches trying to come in and help to hold the building. The building is almost dead. What are you guys doing? Tx46, if they lose the Sky Altar, this is going to be one of the biggest blows in their match, and potentially where they lose their ability to come back into this. They're going to lose a big boy building. They need to get in the building. Why the open field fight? For the love of God. Sky Altar goes down to 89px. I cannot believe what we just witnessed, ladies and gentlemen. Tx46. Come on. Come on. All the opportunities in the world to get into the building, and Tx46 drop an altar, a crucial altar, while trying to take a Shrine of War. Nothing happening in here. The Sky Altar, a better success in here, but also very painful situation for Tx46. The basic fundamentals of Ark of Osiris, ladies and gentlemen. Buildings need to tick for points. If you are fighting in the open field and letting a building go down, it doesn't matter you killed a bajillion trillion. It doesn't matter that Ghost Rider came in here and told me OV killed 40 million troops. That doesn't matter. Why OV won? Because they hold on to buildings, because they swarm the buildings, because they focus on the target at hand. The kills you are getting are nothing. They're not useful. What's useful is to hold on to buildings. Those are the fundamentals that teams like OV, who are veterans and Osiris League Season 1 winners, do. Money cannot buy experience on the field. That is true on the one hand. On the other hand, when you have so much content available out there, you have myself casting every single Ark of Osiris possible, you have Chiskel Gaming casting every single Ark of Osiris possible, Dragothian casting every single Ark of Osiris possible, all you need to do is sit back and listen and have a conversation with us through comments, through Discord. So many of you watch my VODs, watch these casts, and then hit me up asking for questions, for things in your strategies, telling me that these pointers really helped you out. The whole point is you have to remember the point of the game. The point of the game is 1 and 1 only. Ladies and gentlemen, this right there, that right there, the points at the end of the match. This is a waste of 3 minutes, 750 points less for the folks in blue. For nothing. But it's okay. 16 minutes remaining. 6,000 point spread between the two. Ark of Osiris about to pop in 3 minutes. And Tx46 know they have to get this Ark. For Tx46, this is the most important part of the game. If they manage to take this Ark, that's 3,500 points in their favor. That'll put them at about, what would it be? 21. So 3,000, less than 3,000 point difference in the two teams. And that can be brought down in provisions. That can be brought down in provisions. You can take a peek at the individual, on the individual points really quickly. I don't believe nobody's below 10,000 in these kinds of matches. So far, the #1 guy, Ronin Ace, up here with massive work. And let's take a peek really quickly. Vice X, there's character T as well. Ronin X really up there. Make Boudica great again. Boudica, right? At this point, You just wanted to see Sebs? Where is he? There he is, number 4. He's doing his thing. He can really quickly climb to first too. Couple of rallies, successful rallies, and he's up there. Tx46 are not done yet. But with 15 minutes, things are getting really rough. And they're 150 points per minute difference and not closing this gap. This gap is actually growing between the two teams. It's now over 6,000 points. For Tx46 to win, they need 2 things right now. Number 1, they need to take point-making buildings away from red. And number 2, well, 3 things. Number 2, they need to hold on to their own buildings that are giving them points. If they trade off this building, for example, which is giving them a substantial amount of points, or this building, which is about to give them points, then they are going to be screwed. They want to hold on to their buildings. They want to just touch and go on the red buildings so they stop giving them points. And from there, they want the Ark of Osiris. They want the Ark of Osiris. They need the Ark of Osiris. Twists, thank you for subscribing. Welcome to the channel. Red team with 2 Shrines of War is really bad news for Tx46, who are looking to fight in the middle. And they lose right now a crucial piece on the chess piece. They are a crucial chess piece. 80 points per minute now spread between these 2 teams. Very, very, very bad news. They could potentially win if they don't make any more open field mistakes. I definitely agree that this match is nowhere near over, but Tx46 really need to be smart about these things. They have to drop this Ark on this side of the map for now. If they manage to drop the Ark on their side of the map, that is a great start. From there, they'll be able to move a little bit further. At that point, what will end up happening here is that the folks of Tx46 will gain 30 seconds worth of positioning. 30 seconds worth of positioning. Let's see. What else we got here? Shrine of War being contested fairly badly right now. They really need their Shrine of War back, and they need it quickly. A lot of defense happening in here. Some defensive skills all over the place. The Ark went the blue side, and now it's starting to march. This is what Tx46 needed. The problem is their buildings have some red presence nearby. They're going towards where there are more blue folks coming in. This is a great play because although it's a infantry march that's very, very slow, it is marching towards where more help is coming in. The red cloud is coming, but hey, so far, the Ark is marching in the correct place. Unfortunately for Tx46, they lost a lot of field presence, and they're losing in the points per minute game right now, and they'll start losing substantially more. They'll start losing substantially more if this doesn't change now. Shrine of War lost, they won't win anymore. I'm not entirely sure about that, John Wick, just yet. The Ark is moving, so as long as the Ark moves and keeps moving towards the blue side, that's really what matters. Shrine of War goes back in their favor. That's a great start. That's what they needed. There is the skill trigger by PX, I believe. Was it PX that triggered it? Who triggered this? Ark on the ground for Tx46 right now. PX 89 PX picking up the Ark. It is time for them to lose it. Just like that, and now the question is, can they delay this long enough? Tx46 are going all in on the field as well. They're trying to take buildings away, but they're not very successful. This building blinking, nothing happening in there. This is a perfect play. The folks in Tx46 really want to get rid of this desert altar. If they manage to take this desert altar, that will be a great start for them to potentially close this gap of 6,000 points. The Ark worth 3,500 points and 11 minutes remaining. Anything can still happen, ladies and gentlemen. We're looking at 3,500 points out of this Ark, and it is marching in favor of Tx46, ladies and gentlemen, as 89 PX could potentially find themselves in a huge pickle, as on the other match, NB2 are leading by 8,000 points, and they are currently carrying the Ark of Osiris. They have secured the Ark of Osiris on their side, and so with all that being said, it looks like NB2 will be winning that match with a good point differential, which means if Tx46 win, there is still a possibility for 89 PX to get knocked out of here. This is going to be very, very, very important. Gap is too far even for Ark. Probably for Ark, but we gotta see what the provisions look like. If 89 PX are not provisioning and Tx46 are, there still is a slight possibility. I definitely think that there is enough in here for there to be a potential. The problem is not that. The problem is that the points per minute game is ticking against 89 against Tx46. Tx46 are going to lose another 1,500 points in the next few moments, and it's growing to be worse. Now 1,800 points per minute, but Tx46 taking buildings back, slowing things down. Again, 150 points per minute in favor of red is good news. 1,500 points more in their favor to grow the gap, which means it's going to be about an 8,000 gap, and this is going to be tough. If 89PX are not provisioning and Tx46 are, this could end up being very, very weird. But again, the spread here is very big, just like Ghost Rider said. I think that the possibility of this happening is still there, but it's not very big. For Tx46 to win this, they have to take away the altars from 89PX, and they must be able to hold on to their altars till the very end. I don't think there is a for sure victory in here just yet, as the Ark of Osiris is marching towards the desert altar, the Tx46 desert altar. It managed to get out of the cloud, and it is making its way. It is definitely making its way. Now Tx46 need to get themselves onto the buildings. Red's march is standing in the middle. Tough news for 89PX. Potential lag situation or lack of attention. One of the two can cause very big trouble, as this Ark is marching, and slowly and steadily it is making it to the desert altar. I hope they're just going to put it in, period. They're not going to play around with this. There's plenty of red marches nearby to make this very problematic. They have to just get this Ark in, and from there start taking points away from the folks in red. They start doing that with an outpost take, 30 points per minute, better than nothing. You got to keep working like that, slow and steady. The more points, the better. As the blue team secure the Ark of Osiris in a moment, this goes down to less than 4,000 points. And now the real question is, can they do it? But as the Ark is delivered, a tough blow for Tx46. A tough blow for Tx46. Losing the 1 point per minute, one building that is giving them points per minute is going to make this spread even bigger back again. And they are not doing anything to stop the red team from gaining points. Even with this Ark, this is so hard. 89PX swarming this Shrine of War, and this Shrine of War really needs to hold. There is so much open field presence, as well as a rally, an Attila to get a rally hitting this building, that I am not entirely sure this will be able to even hold. 3,800 points between these two teams, and another 180 points per minute in the favor of the red team. This is starting to look grim for Tx46, who really, if you think about it, had a very rough start. And other than that, if they were able to take first occupation on their desert altar and had a little bit of a forward presence, they could have really put up a good fight in here. They have put up a very good fight, but it just wasn't enough. There's a skill trigger by 89PX, and a skill trigger by both teams, right? Oh, I got lucky by both teams right there. One defensive, one offensive, and it looks like the fight is going to be to hold on to the Shrine of War. This is a distraction play. This is really a distraction play. So long as 89PX are keeping Tx46 occupied, trying to hold on to their own buildings, they're not pushing forward, and they're starting to crumble. This Shrine of War is going to go down. There's nothing to stop it from going down. The open field presence is standing still right next to the building instead of going in the building. It's really tough work. Ashron once more chilling outside the building, and the building will go red momentarily, and so will most of the map. And with that, Tx46 are going to find themselves in a very rough place. Obelisk blinking is less important per se. A 20 points per minute loss at this stage is not critical. Obelisks are more of a nuisance play, and they're also more to distract your attention. Once you get there, it's going to be quite a rough one. Once you get to this situation at this stage, losing an obelisk, you really don't care. You really don't. What you care for right now are these buildings. Everything else is blinking like crazy. The points per minute is about 230 points in the favor of red team, but quite frankly, blue have just run out of time. They just ran out of time. What they need to do right now is they need to be able to secure anything. But to make matters worse, keep an eye on this, as in 5 seconds, another 150 points per minute. Can they make it happen? Is this a thing? The folks in blue are really hitting this building hard. An open field march is chilling in here. Cool, that works too. 89 89PX gone, and this building still being blue. They leave the building to go fight in the open field. If 89PX pick up this building right now, this guy just goes into the building. I'm gonna laugh so hard. He can just go into the building. He can just go into the building. There's nobody there. Hello? Okay, there is somebody there. Huh? Okay. If there's someone in there, then okay. I don't know why you left the building to go fight in the open field, my man, but I don't know anymore. Shrine of War being contested by the blue team, skills all over the place, and 5 minutes remaining in the match. It kills me, chat. It kills me. These guys are so much better than this. They're making such the basic mistakes are the problem, right? And it's part of the mentality of the team. It's part of the paying attention to the micro optimizations of your gameplay. You need to understand that having a strategy is not enough. Having a strategy that is good is not enough. The reason OV are such a great team is because every single individual doesn't only know their role within this strategy, they also know their micro optimizations down to the T. That's how they know. You can see very clearly John Wick picking up the arc at the precise right time, from the correct position, with the correct march, at the correct time, going the correct way. They don't miss a blink. You can see exactly at the right minute the rally going towards the Shrine of War, the rally going towards the Desert Altar at the right moment, putting enough pressure, taking those buildings at the right moment, and at the right moment leaving those buildings to go towards the center. These are all micro optimization. This is not someone going, everybody turn left, and everybody turns left. Everybody turn right, and everybody turns right. This is every single possible micro optimization being done by the player themselves, not by the team. Each player understands their exact role and what they need to do. In here, Tx46 have a good, solid plan, but they just straight up don't have that micro optimization. They just don't have that understanding of, I shouldn't be standing in the open field next to the building that is going down. You can tell me they are lagging, you can tell me they got kicked out of the game, all these good things. But at the end of the day, it's weird that the folks who micro-optimize don't get kicked out of a game or don't get stuck on the open field. So it's a little bit of an issue. With that being said, the map is split. The problem is the points per minute is still favoring heavily the folks in red. 3,000 points is 5,000 points-ish is the difference between these two teams. There's not enough provisioning at this stage to get it done, quite frankly. There's not enough in there. Not enough in there. Should have bet on 96 RZ. If DSP lost, it's because DSP didn't try. Probably. I'm assuming they didn't try. I'll be watching the OV match because of you. John is something else. John is something else. And people think that being an arc carrier is just like, oh, he has a march that goes to the center and takes the arc. They don't get it, John. They don't get it. They don't get it. Combination, the talent tree, the placement. You can see John every single time when he picks up the arc, he's standing right here or right here. He's not picking it up from here or not picking it up from here. He understands that if he needs to go this way, the arc needs to drop this way, because if he drops here, all of this march is time wasted. It's super micro optimizations to the dot. And at this point, 50 seconds remaining here in 1 minute and 25. As crazy as that might seem, right? As crazy as this might seem, theoretically, if by some miracle this guy hits the bug and manages to have 100% march, that'd be fairly funny to see him just fly up, and next thing you know, they're up at 33,000 points. That would be fairly hysterical. That would be fairly hysterical. These guys are flying forward, trying to get to the Shrine of War. I believe we can call this GG in the favor of the folks of 89PX. So let's get those GGs in the chat for 89PX. What a great match. While this is happening, NB2 defeating SOD 39,000 to 26,000. With all this happening, NB2 and 89PX are guaranteeing themselves a spot in the playoffs, and we say goodbye today to Tx46 and SOD. What a set of matches, ladies and gentlemen, has been today. We've had an opportunity to watch some interesting arc play here and there. We've had an opportunity to see less interesting, more frustrating, more head-scratching plays, but that's a good thing. Every mistake that someone does while being casted is a mistake that someone else can fix by watching these casts over. That's the whole point of them, and that's why the VODs are available in a playlist on the channel consistently. GG's for the folks of 89PX. That is right, 89PX really going ham. It looks like my co-casters, Dragothian and Chiskel, have been watching different matches. Let's go take a peek at the rest of the matches that happened to see who made it through and who didn't. We know that there's a few other situations in here to keep an eye on. So as of right now, MFLD in first place against JWM2 in second place, 89PX and NB2, JWM and the Boobs, a victory. Ooh, wow. This was a close match. Damn, when did this happen? Was this just now? Was this just now? Whoo-wee. NCB against the Boobies. Man, that was a close match. So they take a spot in the playoffs at second place. This is yet to be determined between these two players. BBTH go up, and V163 seem to have won their match against T79. HKL and K9T taking RX out of the game and out of the tournament, as K9T and MFLD, two alliances from Kingdom 93, making it into the playoffs. C9N kicking SNO out of the playoffs. Oh, SNO were so close to making it in. Smash Squad in first place and C9N in second. Snow with a fantastic run in Arc of Osiris League this season. One of the surprises of the season, these two fellas right here, major GGs to them. We have at least one dark horse into the playoffs, that is 166. They are into the playoffs. And in the final group, UCS and OV, which means next week we get to play against UCS. Oy vey, this is gonna be a rough match. I'm really excited and looking forward for it. Chat, thank you very much for enjoying the cast today. I appreciate you very much if you joined us at this hour. We have one more to go. We will be casting P245 against 166. That's the last match of the day. We'll be casting that at 7 p.m. UTC. Come chill. Make sure you drop by. Drop a like on the stream before you leave. Thank you to all of you for your subscriptions, for your likes. I appreciate Nova on ONG for the super chat. I appreciate that very much. Thank you. I didn't call you out during the cast, but I appreciate that very, very much. Look at the folks from JWM2 coming back in. I'll see you guys sooner rather than later. Appreciate every single one of you again who chilled. I'll see you at 7 p.m. UTC. We'll be back with more content, more casts, the final cast of the day. Go to bed. I haven't slept yet since last night. Nothing's going to stop me. One more cast, and then we pass the freak out, and tomorrow's video we'll figure out what the heck we do. I like your cast. I appreciate that, Secret Dude. Thank you very much. Jedi, thank you. I appreciate you, man. Chat, I'll see you guys at 7 p.m. UTC. Take care, and yeah, have a good one. Peace. Make a face.